Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for May of 2026. Happy birthday to all you May Tauruses out there. You have this armadillo spirit says set healthy boundaries. You have this hawk spirit says let spirit be your guide. You definitely could be being guided at this time. I think I said to you in one of your last readings that, I think Taurus should be listening to their dreams, their daydreams, their night dreams, their everything. Signs, symbols, synchronicities. You have a crap ton of energy in your 12th house in Aries, so I would be listening to all of that. Whatever it is for you, it's different for all of you. And you are definitely being guided at this time. I would also say great time for boundaries. Again, it's pretty simple for you, Taurus. Uranus leaves your sign in April. I'm shooting this on April 18th. This will be published on the 19th of April. And, so again, that has been teaching you freedom for a long time. A great way to have more freedom in life is to say no more and to have healthy boundaries, right? To make sure you're not wasting your time on people, places, and things that steal your energy. So that is, what I would definitely be doing if I were you. You start here with the Two of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Two of Wands, of course, wants you to take the lead on something. It's a card of taking the lead. It can represent progress or making progress. But you also have the Chariot and the Knight of Swords, which I feel pretty good about. Mostly because you have the Knight of Wands before the Knight of Swords. Sometimes I don't like the Knight of Swords. Sometimes I do. It just depends on how I feel about it in the reading. But I do feel a lot of progress here, which is great. The Two of Wands is about stepping into a new world. And, I feel for you, Taurus, this might have to do with people, as in, like the group of people you surround yourself with or the group of people you spend the most time with. And a lot of you could either be upgrading those people or you could even be realizing that a group of people is kind of a comfort zone. Kind of a weird thing for Taurus. I don't think it's weird, and I also don't necessarily think it's bad at all. This is a growth thing, and I don't even think it means you have to cut people out, right? That's not what it's about. But what it's about is if the group of people you spend time with, if they are not like causing you to grow, or if you're not growing or, getting to the next level, then you could be deciding to spend more time with like people who make you grow to the next level or who, are a little bit of a challenge. You might be realizing that the people you spend the most time with are a little bit of a comfort zone. And again, this could be a good thing for you. You have the Three of Pentacles. Definitely time to put your work on display. Again, I'm pretty sure I've been saying to you all year that, I feel for Taurus, it's about in making an impact. I feel that I've said to you before that if I were a Taurus, I would really be looking at the numbers, as in you take an action. What does the result equal? This could be in work, could be in business, could be in your love life, could be everywhere. But I feel like you haven't been getting enough of a result for a long time. And he's done a really good job. This is a card of quality work. So he is getting credit for the work that he's done. But again, if you are in a group of people where you're not getting credit for the work you're doing, then it might be time to change or might be time to do something different. And that's what I would do with the Three of Pentacles. But again, at the same time, I feel very good about this. I feel you really could be finally standing out for your work where maybe you haven't for a very long period of time. And so this is great for those of you in work or business getting attention. You have the Hermit. The Hermit also wants you to stand out. He has gone through something very challenging. He's been through a dark night of the soul, and now he's shining his inner light inside this lantern here. But the light is being hidden inside the lantern, so he needs to open that lantern up and shine it all over the place. And I do feel this is encouraging you, Taurus, to show off more. I would be careful of those comfort zones. I would be careful of, and again, this is not, I want to stress that this is not a bad thing. It's not like saying the people in a comfort zone are a bad thing or anything like that. I just feel that it's safe, right? And I feel this first row is asking you, we don't see any risk-taking cards here yet. That could change in a minute, like the Fool or the Five of Swords or something like that. But I do feel that on this first row, that it's kind of encouraging you to, take something that you do in your life to a new audience, right? Maybe that's a good way to put it. And I feel doing that is going to cause you to grow. And as I say that, I just realized that at the bottom of the clarifying deck here, we have the Five of Swords, which is really funny. But Let's see where this is going for you, Taurus. With the Two of Wands, you show up as the King of Pentacles, which is great. Whatever, we're going to just let it focus on the table. The King of Pentacles is Taurus. You know, it is a card of wealth building and doing things to create more wealth. I feel this is going to be your theme for the next 6-ish years or so, with Uranus entering into your second house. You know, as I've said to you before, a lot of people consider Uranus in the second to be very challenging, but for you, you know, again, Uranus loves Gemini. I have too many signs in my head right now, Taurus, but it loves Gemini, where it's going, because it's the higher octave of Mercury, Gemini's ruler, and I feel that there are going to be a lot of opportunities for you to really kind of level up your finances, or you know, approach how you make money in a new way, and that'll be very beneficial. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands is about being seductive, right? So she is my card of seduction. You know, she is a card of needing to be more bold, assertive, confident. But I feel for you, Taurus, again, we've had Uranus in your first house for a very long period of time. And the first house is how you appear in the world, you know, and I feel a lot of you that this could be you learning, or you have learned how to like make yourself more attractive in business. And again, obviously we're not talking about from a love perspective. We're talking about like, how can you be more attractive to clients? How can you be more attractive to your boss so that they give you a raise, right? Or if you have a business, how can you attract more customers, right? And I feel you've been learning a lot about that, and now you're going to be using it, or you should be, with the Queen of Wands. And that's what I would be really thinking about. With the Hermit, you have the Six of Wands, which is a victory or success. We have 2 cards here, and actually 3, because we also have the Chariot. These are all cards of winning. The Six of Wands is about having, you know, it kind of makes sense with the Hermit, because this guy has been through something very difficult. He's been to war, and now he's coming back from war, and he's being celebrated. So a lot of you could be, you know, entering into a time. I'm not saying this is going to happen, you know, right away this month, but what I would say is it's more of a time, you know, the next several years for you, where you could finally be getting credit for the work that you're doing, and you could finally be standing out with the with that Queen of Wands as well. I do feel like the Queen of Wands wants you to do the things that you need to do. You know, I feel like she wants you to you know, do things that maybe you're afraid to do. I always use the example of like YouTube. You know, even I did an interview a while ago where someone was asking about clickbait, and I'm like, well, I get criticized for clickbait all the time, but if people were smart and they actually watched the reading, my titles are just sentences I say in the reading. It's pretty simple. So is it clickbait? No, it's not, because I literally say those words that are in my titles. I mean, you can watch any reading, look at the title, and at some point in the reading, I will say it. Half the time, my titles are just oracle cards. If people were smart that leave those comments, they would notice that I literally say the words and use it as a title, right? But it's like, if I didn't use clickbait, I wouldn't get, trust me, I did it for years where I had no titles and didn't get nearly as many views. And sorry if you don't like that, but get over it, because believe it or not, being on YouTube, your job is to get views. So, I don't know. But anyway, rant over, Taurus. What I would say here is, again, I think you need to get over it as well. There might be certain things where you're saying to yourself, oh, I shouldn't do that or whatever, but it would literally make you more attractive. And that's what you need to do. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this card. It says the end of a tough cycle approaches. Probably going to use that as a title, Taurus. You have this balsamic moon. It says a time for healing. And so, yes, between now and the end of August, we had this eclipse in Virgo back in March, and it's been coming up a lot. I have not seen an eclipse period after an eclipse in a long time, where the readings keep hitting on something that we should be working on with the eclipse energy. Eclipses last for like 6 months after the eclipse. And so this Virgo eclipse, I did readings for the Virgo eclipse, and they were all about healing. So I definitely feel this one, for whatever reason, really wants us to focus on healing, like one specific thing. I would just pick something that you want to heal. Could be your body, could be your mindset, could be whatever, and I would heal it. Also, definitely ending a tough cycle. Again, I don't necessarily feel Uranus in your sign has been bad, but it is chaos. You know, Uranus is chaos. It can make energy a little bit chaotic. It can make you a little bit unpredictable. It can make unpredictable things happen in your life in the first place. So it's going to be, I feel it's going to be a little bit of a vacation having it leave your first house. So, you know, again, yes. You have the Chariot, the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Swords. Looks like charging towards victory to me. The Chariot is all about charging towards a victory. I always say, some people say he's overcoming obstacles, and the Ace of Swords is also overcoming obstacles. But really, the Chariot, he charges right through an obstacle. He just completely ignores it. He doesn't even see it. He just blasts right through it. So it's about, sometimes I feel the Chariot wants us to have that attitude where the obstacle isn't even an obstacle. The thing isn't even really a problem, right? And we just blast right through it. And that's what I would do with this Chariot card for sure. It kind of reminds me, so many times I'll tell you a random ass story here, Taurus. The other day I had to go in and pay some business taxes. I had to get a new business license, right? And so I had to go to the town hall. Like, so freaking annoying. You can't do it online in 2026. Unbelievable. But there was a guy in front of me. And he was also getting his business license, but he's had a business for like 5 years without a business license, and he had to pay all these back taxes and everything like that, right? So why am I telling you this? Is because he clearly just started, and he didn't worry about it, right? And then when he got the letter in the mail, he was like, okay, I'll go take care of it. Was it a big deal? I don't know. I think they charged him like 20 extra bucks or something like that, like big freaking deal, right? And so it's like sometimes I think, and I'm not encouraging you to break the law, or I would never encourage anyone not to pay their taxes, because taxes are totally great and wonderful. And I love that we have to pay taxes to the government that uses it for crazy things, right? So there you go. Sorry, this Aries energy has me on edge, Taurus. But anyway, I would never encourage you to break the law, but sometimes we just have to get started, right? And that's what the Chariot is saying to me. Sometimes, there might be some things we don't know how to do or we forget about, but we can take care of it later. You have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is about being spontaneous, which, again, with Uranus in your second house, very spontaneous energy. The opposite of Gemini is Sagittarius, which is we have to be adventurous, we have to be bold, we have to also, more importantly, I think, have fun. I feel we should be looking at life as an adventure right now, and something to explore, something to kind of enjoy, and we should be trying to do that as much as possible. And if we do that, we'll have a great time. You have the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a victory and a big success coming in for you. So again, very good second row. The sword is above the mountains, and so this could be an easy solution that's coming into a problem. Sometimes with the Ace of Swords, we have to make a sacrifice. So we have this palm frond over here, this olive branch over here. The palm frond can be a sacrifice. The olive branch can be an offer of peace, or it can be abundance. And again, I do feel that you could be cutting something out to have something better at this time with this card, so yes. With the Chariot, you have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, I feel you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, more or less, with the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords has been coming up a lot since March, maybe, and I feel a lot of people are noticing where they are experiencing Groundhog's Day. I always say Nine of Swords is my card of Groundhog's Day, just every day being the same, and sometimes I feel with the Nine of Swords that we just realize that we have to break a cycle, and you literally have this card that says the end of a tough cycle approaches. So I feel you are ending a tough cycle with this row, which is great. With the Knight of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, I would really embrace that more happy-go-lucky, good energy. Anytime I say this, people always tell me about all the horrible things that are happening in the world, and I always say, exactly, yes, this is why we have to do this, is because we have to change it. So, being more happy-go-lucky, bringing more joy, happiness, love, peace into the world right here. 10 of Cups, right? Doing more of this is what will change the world. Pluto and Aquarius, we are literally here to change the world. Us little people, not the government, not the tax people or anything like that, right? So, again, the only way we're going to do it is by doing this. With the Ace of Swords, you have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is straightforward, diligent progress. Pretty good card to have next to that Knight of Swords as well. He's just, one foot in front of the other doing the work, and he's almost done. He only has one more pentacle to complete. Like I also said earlier, this could be you finally getting credit for the work that you're doing because of that Three of Pentacles and all that stuff in the first row. He's building the work in front of him. He's putting it on display. Kind of like the Three of Pentacles, he's putting it on display right in front of him. We also start the next row with the Eight of Pentacles. So whenever I have a card here and then the same card here, the universe is zooming in on the Eight of Pentacles, and it's providing us with more detail. So that's what we're going to talk about now. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Taurus card. It says perseverance on it. It says, remember, slow and steady wins the race. Awaken your inner bull to give you patience. It's you, Taurus. You have a stag spirit. It says you're meant for great things. Trust in all that you have to offer. Yes, you are definitely meant for greatness. I feel you are meant to stand out and get attention. And, it kind of, I feel you are meant to overcome your something that you're shy about. It's kind of what I feel here, Taurus. I feel you've been the kid at the school dance that just stands against the wall for too long, And that's the feeling I get off of your readings for maybe the past few months. And I feel it's time to come off the wall, basically. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Moon, and the Knight of Swords. Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. Again, we're zooming in to the Eight of Pentacles because it showed up in the row before it. And the Eight of Pentacles is straightforward, diligent work, like I said, but also material success on the horizon. He's working for a brighter future. This is literally what Uranus and Taurus teaches everyone, right? Uranus and Taurus wants us to build and leave a legacy. It wants us to build something that could potentially support our life for a very long period of time, not something that just we're going to start and then it's going to end just as quickly, right? So a lot of you could finally be really putting in the work here with the Eight of Pentacles to, have that success. And I feel that's going to be really good for you with the Eight of Pentacles. You have the Moon card. The Moon is fears, fantasies, illusions. I don't know what is going on this month, but what I would say is I'm about halfway through the readings, and already I've been noticing this fear of the future type of energy going on. And the Moon, is part of the Fool's journey. Sometimes I feel he gets to this part of the Moon and he's looking at this path and he's maybe afraid that he's not going to be able to finish the journey. But the Moon really says the Fool just has one foot in front of the other. That's all he has to do. And he will climb that mountain and he will have his achievement. So if you're trying to accomplish something that you think is hard, I feel like you just have to get started and you will be perfectly fine. You have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is charging towards success, charging towards a victory, charging towards something. I would be careful with this Aries energy. Again, this Aries energy is definitely a little bit spicy, right? We have a ton of energy in Aries. Today is the 18th. Again, yesterday on the 17th, we had the new moon in Aries. So even if you're watching this on the 19th or the 20th, you're still going to be feeling that energy. And so I always tell people with the Knight of Swords that we have to be careful of being impulsive. We have to be careful of jumping to conclusions or assuming things. But, other than that, I feel pretty good about him in your reading. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Two of Pentacles. Yeah, one thing. You have to pick one thing to work on and finish for sure. You're born very close to Aries, so I feel with all that Aries energy, picking one thing and seeing it through to the end, not doing 900 things. This is the card of spinning plates, trying to do too much at once, but which is just going to slow you down. With the Moon, you have the Knight of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles is, again, straightforward progress, so we see a lot of good progress cards here. A lot of Knight energy as well, which really could be you charging forward with the Chariot and the Ace of Swords, so we see a lot of momentum building and speed coming up for you here, Taurus, which is, great. He also, sometimes I feel he is my blank canvas card. He kind of has this blank canvas behind him, that field behind him. And sometimes you just have to make that first mark with the paintbrush, right? You just have to do something to get started. And once you build the momentum, then it's like you're off to the races. And I feel that's what has to happen here. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Five of Wands. Five of Wands is conflict and competition. We are in a time of competition, and we're also in a time of co-creation. We're actually in a time of co-creation where we shouldn't be getting involved in the competition, but there will be competition. So I know that sounds confusing, but really it's not. It's very simple. We should be focusing on co-creation, but people in the world are going to be competing. We just have to go the other direction with Uranus and Gemini. We should be studying the competition, seeing what they're doing, what they're not doing, and then do something different. And literally, it's the secret sauce for life right now. So that's why I talk about it so much, because it is one of the major life hacks during Uranus and Gemini is to study, and also Neptune and Aries. The thing that is really creating this, I believe, is Neptune and Aries, because I feel in business and love, pretty much everywhere, Neptune and Aries causes people to group up. It causes people to say, I'm looking for a savior. I want to find one person who has all the answers. But Neptune and Aries is like, no, you have the answers. They don't have the answer. You do. And so we can work with the energy, get ahead of this, and, be very successful. And so there you go. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this True Love and Fidelity card. It just says love on it. You have this Green Man card. It says the forces in nature favor you. Definitely could be love coming in. You do have 3 knights. You also have the 2 of Cups and the 10 of Cups, which is great. I feel, as I've been saying to you for years now, Taurus, that you have to focus on the energy of love. The more you do things that fulfill your heart, the better. Plain and simple. You have the 10 of Cups, the 9 of Wands, and the 2 of Cups. 10 of Cups would be about creating a life full of love, right? There are 10 cups, so that could be 10 different things that bring them love, joy, happiness, peace. Could be people, could be places, could be habits, could be a mindset, all of that. So I would be looking at everything holistically and saying, how can I have more love in my life? And again, that for you cranky old people out there that don't want love, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be a person, right? It could be you being less cranky, doing something else, and, bringing more love down into the world. You have the 9 of Wands. 9 of Wands is the Wounded Warrior, and he is also the card of not giving up. In the area of the good stuff, definitely very good for not giving up. He has this one wand that he's holding on to, and he's trying something again. He's also my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. We are absolutely in a time where we have to throw more stuff at the wall to see what sticks. Just look at my channel. Look at the collectives I've been running, right? It's all just me trying stuff because I know eventually it's going to work. And that is the trick with the 9 of Wands. Experiment more. You have the 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups is a perfect match. 2 of Cups can be very different than your usual type. So if you are looking for love, very good for love. This and the 10 of Cups. So you could be attracting a new person, but, it could be someone who's different. With the 10 of Cups, you have the Judgment card. I feel, now this is kind of a long thread that I feel a lot of people are going to be experiencing. I've even been seeing this just in the world, where I feel people are starting to realize what is actually important in life. I don't know. There's something going on. Now, again, part of me, sorry, let me come back to this camera. Part of me believes that it's Uranus and Gemini, because Uranus and Gemini is the truth. So if we've been doing things that are not the truth, or if we've been believing things that are not the truth, I feel this could be a big wake-up moment for us in the collective. And this is definitely a good thing, because I feel a lot of us are going to be kind of waking up to a life where we do more of what's important, and obviously that's a good thing. With the 9 of Wands, you have the Justice card. Yes, with all the energy in Aries, we should be balancing things out. The opposite of Aries is Libra, and so we should be making sure that we are being balanced. If you're working hard, make sure you're playing hard. If you're playing hard, make sure you're working hard. Make sure you're getting plenty of rest. Make sure you're not doing things that are interrupting your rest. All of that we need to pay attention to. With the 2 of Cups, you have the King of Swords. Yeah, it could be. You've been getting the King of Swords with me for love. I'm almost 1,000,000% sure, because I've been saying to you, Taurus, that you could be attracting someone who's older than you, or it could just be a very mature person that you're attracting. It could be someone that is almost like a mentor as well. So, it could be a person that I'm not saying you look up to them right now, but it could be a person where as you get to know them, you really look up to them, right? You have this Club card. It says someone will try to make you do something against your will. I've been saying this to you as well, Taurus. I know for a fact I said it in your last reading. I feel that Taurus needs to start doing more things for themselves and making people in their lives do things for themselves, right? So if you have people in your life that you do too much for, it's time to make those people grow up, is what I feel this is saying. And I've been saying this to you for, I probably have said this to you a few times over the past few months. You have this pin card. It says new job or career. I also feel some of you could be upgrading your career, or your whatever it is that you do. There could be some sort of upgrade. So I feel pretty good about that with the pin card, and I feel it could lead to a lot of benefits. You have this finger card. It says warning you of a problem either now or in the future. Yeah, don't ignore things right now. I think with all the Aries energy, I would say that if a problem, any problem shows up, take care of it right away. It's going to be better to take care of things than just to ignore them. You have this bouquet. It says compliments from an admirer. Yes, definitely could be love if you're looking for love. So yes. And finally, you have this diamond. It says you will be receiving or giving a precious gift. Yes, definitely could be some gifts coming in for you. I really like the rest of the year for you and moving forward, for years as far as money is concerned. Some people say Uranus in the second can make finances a little bit unpredictable, which is kind of true. But at the same time, Uranus loves Gemini. I think as long as you pay attention and as long as you build systems, which Uranus and Taurus has been teaching you for a long time, so that you can maintain it. Again, I think the key word for you is maintenance. What did you do to make a certain amount of money? How can you keep doing that, right? And as long as you do that, you'll be fine. But this looks pretty good, Taurus. I like it. So thank you for being here. Make sure to leave a comment, and definitely enjoy your month.